Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, or feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Alrighty, so New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong for April 2nd, 2022. I just watched it. It was on last night. It hit New Japan Pro Wrestling World last night, I should say. I just watched it this morning, and let's talk about it. Let's see how this episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong was. So there were three matches. Main event was Tom Lawlor, the strong openweight champion, defending his title against top contender Clark Connors. But let's start with match one. Match one was Rocky Romero and Wheeler Yuta taking on Team Filthy's J.R. Kratos and Black Tiger. Rocky Romero feuding now. He's feuding with Black Tiger. So there was really, there was really nothing special about this opening match. It was just your basic standard match. The faces start off strong, then the faces are in trouble. The heels have the faces in trouble, being Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta trying his best to make the hot tag. Eventually gets a hot tag to Rocky Romero, and he does well, kind of cleans house, so to speak. But this match was just really built to make JR Kratos look strong. So some of the action that actually took place. The match actually started with the all four men brawling. Rocky and Black Tiger officially started the match. They were brawling on the outside, and Rocky and Black Tiger officially started the match. Rocky controls the match in the beginning. Yuta comes in, he hits a flurry of moves on Tiger. Yuta calls, he wants Kratos to come in. Kratos comes in and he hits a big power slam on Yuta. Kratos's power is definitely on display in this match. He really hit some big power moves, some big clotheslines. The tide turned as Yuta was Yuta was in trouble for a bit. Excuse me, and then Kratos hit a big clothesline for Yuta onto. Kratos hit a few more power moves, but then the tide being turned as Yuta started to come back. Yuta lands a few forearms, hard slap. He slaps Kratos right across the face. Yuta finally, after he gets in more trouble, finally makes the hot tag. And Rocky Romero is in as Kratos tags in Black Tiger. Romero hits sliced bread for two. Romero hits a few corner-to-corner clotheslines, but on the last one, Kratos comes in and hits a massive pounce on. Well, it wasn't really massive. He hit a pounce on Romero, knocking Romero down. The end came with a pop-up side slam from JR Kratos on Rocky Romero. Gets the 1-2-3. So the winner of the match, JR Kratos and Black Tiger. Team Filthy win the match. Then after the match, JR Kratos cuts a promo on Alex Coughlin. He calls Tom Brady, football player Tom Brady, a derogatory name. I'm not going to repeat it, but basically he calls out Alex Coughlin. Coughlin appears and they brawl. He comes in and they brawl. Kratos has the advantage in it early on in the brawl. He hits a corner. He goes to hit a corner splash, but Coughlin catches him and walks into the middle of the ring, and then he hits a suplex, which the crowd. We'll talk about the crowd in a second. Kratos then he gets up, clotheslines Coughlin, and then they have a standard brawl, which is eventually broken up by Young Lions and security, I guess. But as I said, there was nothing special about this match. Nothing special at all. It was just designed. I feel it was just designed to make JR Kratos look strong and have him challenge Alec Coughlin, who's no longer a young lion. He's graduated, no longer a young lion, and calling out Coughlin, challenging him, and have Coughlin come out and brawl. But the crowd, man, I guess I got to point out, the crowd was just awful. The crowd was awful when you first saw the opening of the first match, which I just spoke about. The crowd, it looked like there was a nice side crowd there, but they were just they were crickets. They were quiet. There was a few clapping, some clapping, and I think there was a few oohs and ahs when Conklin hit that when he caught Kratos and he hit that suplex in the middle of the ring. But after that, they when they started brawling, you expect like the crowd to be cheering, but the crowd was just quiet. It was just silence. They were almost like they were almost confused as to what was going on, right? They was confused, like what's going on. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It was weird. The crowd was awful throughout the whole show. And I know there's going to be more strong style evolved matches that they're going to be showing. Hopefully, the crowd picks up. Maybe these were the last 3 matches that were filmed and of the actual show, and the crowd was just spent. I don't know, but the crowd was just awful in this one. Well, like I said, they had the standard pull apart brawl, and the crowd was almost confused as to what was going on. It was, but again, it was nothing special. Nothing special. I like Alex Coughlin. He's a very talented young wrestler. Again, no longer a young lion, and him against Jay Kratos should be a great match. Should be a great match. So I'm sure we'll see that down the road. But again, just the standard. The match was just standard, nothing special, and the brawl was just the standard pull apart brawl. And even throughout the match as well, throughout the opening match, the crowd was really, there was hush hushes. It was almost like they were like. It was almost as if they were told just to keep quiet. Like they were told to keep quiet. Like I don't know, maybe the fire chief came out and said, okay, guys, you guys are a little, we don't want to create any noise pollution, right? We don't want to, or maybe some official, or St. Petersburg, like the mayor of St. Petersburg, Florida showed up and said, guys, we got to keep it to a minimum. Okay. We don't want any noise pollution. We got people that live here. We don't want to be too loud. It was almost as if like they were scolded and like they were in like there was an unruly school child who's been scolded and he has to go sit in the corner. That's like the crowd was. It was just crowd was just quiet, man. And this is New Japan Pro Wrestling, but anyway. So we had match two, which was Jonah and Shane Haste, who was Shane Thorne in WWE, but now he's in New Japan Pro Wrestling as Shane Haste. TMDK is the name of their faction with Bad Boy Tito. Is Bad Boy a bad guy? I think it's Bad Boy Tito. But Juice Robinson, their opponents were Juice Robinson and Dave Finley, Finn Juice. So this match begins with all 4 brawling in the crowd for a while. It seemed like that brawl was going on forever, but they were in the crowd. Finally, Shane Haste and Dave Finley are in the ring, and the match finally starts. We hear the bell, and the match is officially on the way. Jonah and Haste just dominate Finley throughout the match, and Finley finally able to make the hot tag to Juice. Juice comes in, he battles Jonah. Juice gets the better of Jonah. Juice hits a nice corner cannonball on Jonah at one point. Juice and Finley, they hit a double flapjack on Jonah. Shane Haste brings a chair into the ring, and he hits Juice and gets disqualified. About 6 minutes in, about 5-6 minute match. Wasn't that long. Official match because they were brawling on the outside prior. So Shane Haste brings a chair in the ring, hits Juice, and gets disqualified. There was some the crowd moaned a little bit, so there was some there's a little reaction from the crowd here. They're like, no. It's like when there was that DQ, the referee rang the bell, you had it's almost like they bought pizza and they were expecting hot pizza, or they're expecting pepperoni pizza, but there was cheese pizza, so they were upset. They're not really upset, right? Like, it's just cheese pizza, but I'm going to eat it anyway, right? So I don't know if that's a good comparison, but anyway, but it just the crowd was like, looking at their watch. We gotta go home. Can we end the? But yes, but so we get the DQ, and Finn Juice wins the match by DQ. Shane starts attacking Juice with the chair. Jonah starts pummeling Juice. That's attacking Juice as well. Finley comes in with a shillelagh and makes the save and chases Jonah and Shane Haste out of the ring. The brawl was okay. It was the brawl. It was an okay match. Yeah, it was okay. It was a fun little match. It was a fun little match. It was good back. It was decent back and forth action between both teams. The DQ ending at first, you're thinking why is there a DQ ending? Be interested. Why what's with the DQ? I see my hair popping out here. Man, I gotta get that back in there. Gotta get a haircut, man. I desperately need a haircut. Not gonna take this hat off because my hair's going boom. Now people watching are going to want to see it, but the DQ ending it made sense. You might have been a little disappointed. Oh, another DQ ending, but it kind of made sense because they want to prolong the feud. And of course, Juice takes the mic after the match and says that they want TMDK again. They want Jonah, Shane Haste, and Bad Boy Tito. They don't want no DQs. They don't want any countouts. They want a street fight, and they want it in Chicago at the Windy City Riot on April 16th. So Juice Robinson says him and Dave will find a partner and they'll have a 6-man street fight at Windy City Riot. So we could expect that. Not sure who their partner is going to be, who they're going to get. I almost said mystery partner, but it might not be a mystery. They might announce it prior to the match. Well, I guess right now it's a mystery. But anyway, so at Windy City Riot, April 16th, seems like this is going to be the blow-off match. So it's going to be Jonah, Shane Haste, and Bad Boy Tito against Juice Robinson, David Finley, and a partner of their choosing. So we'll see who they get as the partner. That's going to take place at Windy City Riot on April 16th. But the match was, it's not a match I'm going to watch again, right? It's not a match where I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch this again, right? But it was okay. It was okay. It was for what it was. It was a fun little quick match, quick brawl, and it served its purpose. They set up the Windy City Riot street fight, and that's it. And that's it. That's the purpose. That's what was the purpose of this match, was to set up the 6-man street fight at Windy City Riot on April 16th. And now after that we get a cleaning and disinfection break. I said this last time. It's a taped show. It's a taped show. It's not live. It's taped. So why do we have to have a cleaning and disinfection break? If you're going to clean and disinfect during the live show, that's fine, but you don't need to incorporate it into the tape show. Doesn't make any sense. Just because it was like a 5-6 minute cleaning and disinfection break, and then they're like, all right, we'll get to the match after the cleaning and disinfection is over on the taped show, which makes zero sense to me. But that's what they did. That's what they did. That's what we got. So we had a sit. We could always fast forward it, right? So that's the beauty of a tape show, is it's not live, so you could just you fast forward the cleaning and disinfection break, and you go to the main event. And the main event was the match that I was so hyped for, the Strong Openweight Title, the champion Tom Lawlor, who's just been absolutely fantastic in New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. He's held that belt for quite some time, turning back challenger after challenger after challenger, taking on Clark Connors, a guy who I love. Great talent, Clark Connors. Match wasn't as good as I expected. No, it wasn't. Match wasn't as it was good. It had its moments. But I was, Clark Connors is a absolute incredible talent, pure fire talent. He's rapid fire action from he's like a young bull. Clark Connors, great talent. He's had some fantastic matches, and I was expecting this one just to be just out of this world. That was my expectation. Maybe I set my expectations too high, but the match wasn't as good as I expected. No, again, it was a good match. But the match actually started with Tom Lawlor takes off his jean shorts, and he's wearing his trunks that look like jean shorts. And then Clark Connors did the same thing. He on his shorts. He took his off, and he was wearing cut off jean shorts as well under his jean shorts. And then it was kind of like a jean shorts battle in the beginning. The crowd was kind of like the crowd made a little bit of noise, but Clark Connors eventually took off the second pair of jean shorts, and he was just wearing his regular wrestling trunks. But we had some good action. We had some good back and forth action, some good moves in this one. But I was expecting like the match went. I don't know. It just the last 5 minutes of this match, I was expecting it to be thrilling. I was expecting the last 5 minutes of this match to be absolutely thrilling with a bunch of near falls, with Clark Connors being like just this close to becoming the strong openweight champion. I was expecting Tom Lawlor to hit some big moves as well, and it seems like it's all over. But Clark Connors is able to lift that shoulder up at the last moment, and fast-paced big move action. I was expecting the thrilling last 5 minutes of this match. That's I was pumped. I was ready. I just didn't get it. We just didn't get it. And Tom Lawlor won with two knee strikes, one to the front, one to the back. I don't think he's ever won a match with a knee strike. And not New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't think I've ever seen him win a match with it. So I could be wrong, but it seemed like maybe it's a new finisher for Tom Lawlor. But the match just wasn't as good as I had hoped. And again, not taking anything away from Clark Connors or Tom Lawlor, both great talents. Maybe wrestlers when they're in a match, maybe they feed off the crowd. Well, not maybe. Wrestlers feed off the electricity or the energy of the crowd, right? They feed off the energy of the crowd. So I think the crowd had something to do with it, because the crowd was just like they were like I said, they were awful. The crowd was silent. The crowd wasn't making any noise at all. So as good as the action was in the ring, they didn't have the energy of the crowd to feed off of. So maybe that kind of affected the pace of the match. But nonetheless, I didn't think this match was as good as I was hoping. But then again, like I said, not to take anything away from Tom Lawlor, Clark Connors, I'm both big fan. I'm big fan of both of them. I'm going to blame it on the crowd. I'm going to blame it on the crowd. The energy in the crowd wasn't there. The energy wasn't there to feed off of, and the match just wasn't what I was hoping for. And that's just me. If you watched it, you enjoyed it. Hey, that's fine. Again, the match wasn't horrible. The match was good, but it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't fantastic as I said I was expecting. Okay, so after that, Fred Rosser actually came out. And actually Tom Lawlor, after the match, Tom Lawlor, he cut a promo, and Fred Rosser eventually came out and challenged him to a title match, which Tom Lawlor refused. Tom Lawlor said no. He said, hell no. I think they've had two matches already, and Fred Rosser wanted another shot at the Openweight title. And Lawlor said, hell no. So as of right now, Fred Rosser probably will get a shot. He'll probably will eventually get another shot at the title. Is not getting a shot, at least not for now. At least Tom Lawlor said, hell no title shot. So we'll see where that goes. But Windy City Riot's coming up on April 16th. It's going to be on Fight TV. That should be a great show. I'm looking forward to that. A few matches. I know John Moxley versus Will Ospreay is on that show. That match is going to be fantastic. I'm going to do a preview prediction show on the Windy City Riot. They haven't announced too many matches yet. I think they've announced maybe 3 or 4 matches. When they announce the full card, probably a week or so before, I'll do my preview and predictions for Windy City Riot. So look forward to that. But this week's episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, I would say, don't go out of your way to watch it. It is definitely not must-see TV. And hopefully next week when Strong Style Evolved gives us another show. We get some more from the Strong Style Evolved taping. Hopefully the crowd was they perked up a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see how the crowd is. But anyway, that's it. That's how we felt about New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong for April 2nd, 2022. I'm going to leave it at that. Any news breaks, I'll be back. And until then, thank you very much for watching, listening, and until next time, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.